Hello everyone. Let's have our drawing Tuesday drawing session. We have a beautiful model here now, and there is a movement here that I can see. You will see at the end. It's an AI generated image from what I see. I'm not 100% sure, but it looks like, most likely. But it's nevertheless it's beautiful and it's very attractive. Now we have the head, which is turned on her left shoulder. This shoulder is higher, which is her right shoulder higher than the left shoulder. And this is the action line or the spine, which is at the back. Well, it doesn't actually define, the action line doesn't define the spine, but I'm thinking of the spine as the action line because it's basically what moves the torso. And here we have it right here, and then on the hip, somewhere here between the hip and the belly button, moves that way. And we have the shoulder coming, the arm, upper arm, with an elegant move, moving inwards, and the other upper arm again moving inwards and then outwards, both arms. Then you have the lower arm here, and a little bit of drapery, which is quite visible here. And it's very important on this image. She's holding her dress. So we have two big shapes. We have that massive one and a much smaller. And on the other half of the dress, it's the same thing. She's holding her dress there, and you have the thigh, which is showing a little bit, and the calf here. So this is the basic move of the figure drawing. And at the back here we have the cast shadow of the dress onto the back part of the dress, and that's the same, it's dark as well. So now that I have a little bit of structure, I can introduce a little bit of shadow, which will help me see, and us, if we're doing rightly or wrongly those shapes. And in comparison, let's say that white shirt of hers, how big it is in comparison with the blue dress. So to me, in the picture, looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 5. So from the shoulder right here to the breast, that's about 5. We said 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, pretty much almost 5. So we are okay at the moment. We have the breast here and shoulder. That's also in the shadow. Cleavage right here. Dress here, dress there, which is a little bit open, the chest. And then you have the portrait, which is a theme which always comes about because people have heads. Yeah, and so chin, nose, hair, and hair, other side of the hair, all that top. So you see, I've used that square, which is basically the general movement of her, and also the size of the head, not only being tilted to the right, but it's also pretty much the size of her head. Then you have the shadow of the head on the neck, Also cast shadow of the head on the neck and shoulder. Right here I have the eye, which is being shadowed by her hair. Nose. Upper, well, I don't want to make her angry. She's very happy. Lower lip. Upper lip. I think I've lost control of the lines on the charcoal because I don't know where that part of the charcoal is going to touch the paper. And I mean, I'm not trying to blame the tools, but basically it's thick charcoal, so I cannot fully control it. Okay, hair and neck. And a little bit of drapery here. Very soft shadow because it's a white dress. And this part of her blue dress does have those, well, first of all, the blue is marginally darker than the white dress, so I'm just giving it basically a tone of value. And you have her dress, fold, fold, fold. As I said, I'm giving it the blue dress a little bit more of a color because it's a slightly darker. Not by much really, it's just, especially on the right, on the light area, it's very little difference. Okay, right shoulder, left shoulder. I'm deliberately giving it a little bit more importance on those corners because I call them, well, I don't call them, but they're called anchor points. That's an anchor, like an anchor of a ship. An anchor of a ship. That you anchor it so the boat doesn't move onto the sea. So you have it anchored. You know where the boat is, so the boat will not drift apart, away. Jaw. Okay, we have the lower arm, wrist, and thumb. Lower arm again. I'm going deliberately a little bit darker than I should have gone because she's very very light, this part of her skin tone, because it's been illuminated by the light. Here another anchor point is this, which is the cast shadow of her body onto her right upper and lower arm. Here, right there. And now, why is that important? Because first of all, it defines right under lower her breast where that particular cross shadow or light and shadow is being basically the border where the light and shadow is. And also it creates a well, I mean, I'm trying to find the word this level, but it's not, it's more in construction. I can see that this is a much lower structure here where the elbow is, which is behind or beyond that point. But this lower and upper arm here, it's slightly lower. Well, it's a bit lower than the right corner here, because again, it follows the movement, downwards movement of this shoulder and upwards movement of this shoulder. 1, 2. Shoulder 1 is going up, shoulder 2 is moving down. And thumb again. There we are. Okay, now a little bit now. An anchor point, it's here. Now, this is where her thigh meets the dress. Yes, correct. But not only it meets the dress, so first of all, we will see how high that point is compared to the figure, and also where it is exactly. Is it vertically to her neck, to her mouth, to the end of her hair? So let me measure it onto the original picture. And yes, it's here. It's almost end of her hair, going down vertically. Well, no, a bit more to the left. Yeah, I almost got it right, but that's not coincidence. Okay, now thigh. So the thigh comes, or should come, more to the left. And then we have the kneecap. Stronger statement, and by this I mean darker tone of the charcoal, and a very dark here shadow. And be careful, because this is her left thigh and calf, but here I see her right calf and knee. I mean shin here. So not to confuse, this is the shin of the left foot, then that's the calf. Unfortunately, you cannot see, the artist didn't give us the end of her foot, but I guess with the experience we have, we can do it ourselves. I cannot go down or lower than that because I'm off the page, but you get the meaning. And here we have her right foot. Now, I'm going to answer the question, but so that you ask yourselves, where is her weight distributed and how it is distributed, and what is the leg which is holding her weight? Is this or that leg? Well, it's that leg, because you see, that is the leg where she's pushing or resting her weight onto the ground, of course, and this leg is balancing the body so it doesn't fall this way or that way. Okay, well, we've got the basic elements, and I don't think it's a lot to be done, to be honest. I mean, if you can have some decorative or pretty folds here, but the main issues are pretty much clear, and they're the gesture, basically. The movement is elegant, light, happy, cheerful, flowing. dress, the body. Well, I will continue with a little bit more, let's say, on the cleavage here to give it a little bit more of a slightly darker tonal value. Okay, which is basically her chest, but careful, we have the reflection of light here on both, especially on that side of the breast, and here a bit of so a bit more transparent, this line or fold or arm. Here the shadows are blending with each other. Not that they are actually blending there, but I don't have that luxury here to start and do a lot more detail. I can do, but it will take me way longer. Let's say to separate the transparency of the white dress compared to the darkness of her skin, especially on the shadow, dark tonal values on the dress itself, which is the blue dress, the beautiful blue dress. Now here under her breast we have a little bit of a shadow, which appears to be like almost like a ribbon, which is not, of course. Here, oh, that fitted actually nicely to the number 1, which is basically her blue dress. It's got these lines, which is actually holding the blue dress up there. Okay, well, I think it's pretty much done. I mean, the hands, the movement of the hands is not accurate because they're higher, but I have the liberty to deliver it, slightly change it, not because I'm doing it better, of course not, but it's like a liberty that I'm taking, and you should take, to create the gesture to convey the feeling of the gesture, or the gesture itself, not the feeling, but the gesture that you see, and the feeling of the lightness and the happiness that she's radiating to us. She's very it looks like a beautiful day and she's out and enjoying the sun, or you can make up a story basically, but everything is here. All these all these all what we've said, they're here. They've been all the story is actually shown on her movement of the dress and her body, so there is no need to come and do a lot more to it, because first of all it just also spoils the freshness of the quick sketch, if we can call it a quick sketch basically. Okay, see you on the next one then.